Now, ahead of today's inauguration for President-elect Joe Biden, Washington, D.C. is seeing an unprecedented security presence. The Capitol is now surrounded with armed members of the National Guard, extensive barricades, and checkpoints. 25,000 soldiers are on standby to ensure a peaceful transfer of power. That security presence is making today's inauguration unlike anything we've seen before. We're getting a first-hand account from a Utah politician who will be there this morning. Joining us live from Washington is former Utah Congressman Ben McAdams. Congressman, thanks for being with us here today. I understand you're attending today's inauguration.
That's right, Brian. Great to see you. I'm here in Washington, just arriving at the Capitol, preparing to go through security. They have this place locked down. It looks, we've got great safety protocols that are in place, men and women, both Capitol police officers, National Guard, who are here to make sure that everybody's safe and things go off well today.
So we hope it goes off as well. Where will you be when President-elect Joe Biden takes the oath of office?
Yeah, from what I understand, there's very limited attendance at the inauguration today, both due to COVID and due to the security concerns. So I'm told there's about 1,000 people who will attend, mostly members of Congress and the guest, and then former members of Congress who are invited. So we will be joining the ceremony on the west steps of the Capitol with everyone else and be witnessing the ceremony then. And, you can see behind me the fencing that they've put up around the Capitol to make sure that it is safe. There are no incidences like we saw a couple of weeks ago. And we're feeling, my wife was with me, we're feeling pretty good about the safety precautions that have been taken.
It's quite remarkable. We're getting a good signal from your cell phone there. You mentioned the security. Can you show us what you're seeing there with your phone?
Yeah, so what we're seeing here, let me you can see some of the guard behind me here. I want to be careful to not show too much and compromise any of the security in the area. So maybe I'll just describe it. But you can see there's fencing all around the Capitol. They've expanded the security perimeter to include the House office buildings and the Senate office buildings. So even to get where we are today, we had to show credentials and to pass one security checkpoint. And then there's another one that we have to go through before we're allowed to enter the Capitol grounds. There are, as I said, Capitol Police and National Guard everywhere around the complex to just make sure that everybody's safe. They've also shut down bridges into the cities and other modes to get into the city, and transit in the immediate vicinity of the Capitol. Those transit stops are closed, so we had to walk here. From what I can tell, they've taken every precaution to make sure this event is safe and goes off without a hitch.
What's it like to see the inauguration fortified in this way?
It's both comforting to know that we will be safe and that we have the men and women in uniform here to protect us, but it's also, I have to say, sad that this is required. This is intended to be a day of celebration where we celebrate democracy. It is not without some hardship for people who are whose candidate did not win. I know myself, as someone who was not successful in my election, that call I made to my opponent to congratulate him on his election victory is one of the hardest calls I've made in my life. And so I know that for many Americans today whose candidate did not prevail, it's with some sadness. But this is also a time to celebrate democracy and the peaceful transfer of power and how what prevails in our country is an election and democracy. And to see that this is what's necessary today is honestly sad. That we have the concerns about violence with the insurrection that we saw 2 weeks ago and the threats that continue to this day, not only here in Washington, but in 50 states across the country. It's sad, and I have to say, I think we need to be better than this as Americans. And this is a time that even if your side, your party, your candidate did not prevail, this is where we celebrate democracy and that we come together as Americans to put our country first and to then work together to govern and to solve the challenges that we face. And the challenges we face today are great.
And as you mentioned, you've seen both sides of this issue before. President, of course, has moved out from the White House. We're now expected to see the president-elect take that oath of office in a matter of hours here today. Great to talk with you here this morning. Former Congressman Ben McAdams, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Brian.